Yo guys, it's Diktaturen with you today. We have a SRL race and this time it's the season finale in Brazil. We have the two title contenders, Neresteia and Nuggetbox, who are fighting for the title. Whoever gets ahead of them in this race are gonna win the season. Coming out from the pits we have Maklamaki, who breaks just as he leaves the pit. Really scares us. Not gonna lie, not know what happened there. I think he just went on the brakes, but could have been an incident immediately there. Happy I ghosted through him. It wasn't intentional, of course. I just don't know what happened. Yeah, I'm sure he didn't see me. So nonetheless, we're gonna get on our first qualifying lap, and while we are on this lap, I want to talk a little bit about how you prepare and practice for these kind of races. So before this race, I was in time trial and basically try and nail as many lap times as I could around here. And to my surprise, once I felt like I was done, I was the leading car of everyone in this league. I had I think 106.31, something like that. Just inches ahead of Neresteia, which for me was an incredible time. So I was super confident coming into this race, but once I just put myself in the car in race, I just don't know what happened. I felt like I had no pace. The car felt slippery. I had no idea what was going on. So I'm gonna get into what happened later, because I have a really good explanation as to why things didn't work out, but I had no idea when I was here. I just thought that maybe the wheel was half disconnected, that when I was steering it felt like there was a slight delay. As you can see, we set the fastest lap of 107.2, but we're not gonna have that fastest lap for long. So coming later into the race, or into the qualifying session, we are on our last run. We are far away from our pace, so I really need to start nailing this here. And we are just slightly ahead, but right here we should be far ahead from our time. So it's like we're carrying no speed through the corners. I feel like I'm hitting the corners where I am supposed to, just cutting the curbs where I can. Now I'm 1.5 tenths up on our time, but I should be 3-4 tenths up at this point, because the first sector on time trial was my fastest sector. Now we have to remember, the car behaves differently in time trial and in race and qualifying sessions. It's not lighter per se, because I think they have more fuel in the car when you do time trials, but they still feel lighter. And I think it has a lot to do with track temperature and stuff like that, and tire temps probably as well. But you can see on my time, I'm just far away from the pace, and at this point I just felt sad, because my goal for this was to go on the front row. A pole would be amazing, but front row at least. But I ended up in a P9. Nuggetbox is in pole position with Noel right behind him, and Neresteia is in third position. So it's sure to be a nice title decider today. But we are far from being involved in it. Obviously I don't want to be too involved in their race, but I want to be up there fighting with them. I want to get a good view on what's going on, but now I'm so far back, and I need to figure out some kind of alternative strategy for this race. Something that I can do that's gonna enable me to get ahead of them. And I don't know what that's gonna be. My hope is for a safety car in a random position, because I'm thinking to go a little bit long. But we're gonna soon find out what's gonna happen, as the race is about to start. We have 5 lights, and away we go, and people behind are getting drive-through penalties. And we just sneak past Papa Wober, who got a terrible start. And now into the first corner we go. We have Maklamak on our side, and we have some corners. Noel spinning, and Metal Machine and me are fighting for position. He gets ahead. We settle into P8, not really gaining a lot of positions, but I think some car up ahead has a drive-through penalty, so that's gonna be interesting. We have Maklamaki challenging a little bit. Metal Machine ahead, also for challenging. We gotta take the inside, so Maklamaki cannot go inside of us. And we are still settled into P8. The first 2 corners, first 3-4 around Brazil, it's typically where it decides where you're gonna end up. We're gonna try and sneak a move on Metal Machine on his inside, but he is expecting it, I think, as he still holds on to the position Well driven from him. We're gonna take around the outside of him. Is he gonna leave us the space on the outside? Yes, he is. Still, clean racing. As behind, I think Mäklarmakispan and Edu on the hard tires are now very much in front. I think he started in like P14 or something. I think he was the last in the last position. So he really gained time. And we have our teammate Dynamite in 10th position, also gained some positions as Skillers enters the pits to serve his drive-through penalty. Metal McQueen and Cello are looking to fight a little bit, but it settles down, so we're gonna see if anything is gonna happen on this first straight. But it looks like it looks like they're gonna fight, which is so good for me. So I'm not gonna use ERS here, because once I get there, I'm gonna be right behind them. So any ERS I use ahead of them, it's just gonna be wasted, because I'm not gonna be able to get ahead of them or anything. So I'm just gonna let them fight and see what's gonna happen. And Metal McQueen, he spins. He's going to the left into the wall. I don't think he got damage from that though. So we'll see later on if he's gonna show up into the race. So now I'm in P6. So I gained 3 position from 9th to 6th, which is very good for my race, of course. I really took care in the beginning. We're gonna see now, Cello and me are a little bit in no man's land right now. Lil Tango 3 seconds ahead and Noel is 1.5 behind. I really don't want them to get there, so I'm hoping me and Cello are gonna be able to trade positions to gain some time. But he's having none of it. He's fighting me.
Fightas han med mig? Vi kommer bara förlora tid.
And as you can hear, I'm not very happy about that. He's out of ERS and I have 50%. So I'm hoping he's gonna back up and maybe regain some DRS. ERS just sitting behind me. But he's gonna fight.
Varför är han helt jävla efterbliven?
And you can hear I'm not happy at all. Fighting is no point here. We should just be working together so we can get within the train ahead of all those leading cars. As you can see on the map, they are so close together. And this is hurting both me and Cello. And Noel, I think, is gonna take advantage. He gained some time on us and we lost some time to Lil Tango ahead. So I really want us to work together and not fight, especially when he is low on ERS, but he is not having the message. He wants to fight, and it's all good for him to do that, but I am frustrated from it. I need to let it go, and Noel just gets DRS on me now. So now we're a 3-man train with almost 4 seconds to Lil Tango. Cello is using all of our ERS, but we're not gonna get ahead of him here. We're gonna sit behind so we can get DRS on him and maybe just push away from him in the last sectors. But Cello spins. Smiling a little bit about that right there. Cello is a really good guy, and it's very sad that this hurt his race. But at this moment I felt like that was the wrong decision to make. However, remember this, you can say some nasty stuff when you're in the race, and it's not really, how do you say it? It's not personal. You just get heated up and adrenaline kicks in, and you know when you practice a lot for a race, and you feel like you can do something different, then yeah, as things gets ahead of you. But as you can see, we cut really far ahead because there was nothing really to show. We are on lap 19 and we are the leading car, but everyone else behind has pitted. We have not. I was going around just waiting and praying for a safety car to show up, because I didn't have the pace today, so I really needed to do something different, because I was not gonna be able to stay with everyone else nonetheless. So behind now we have Neresteia and Nugget Box, and they are really closing in quick. We are on 76% on our tires, so we are in puncture territory. I really don't want to fight them, so I'm gonna let Neresteia go. And he goes very slow around this corner. He maybe wants to box us in between Nugget Box and Neresteia, and he managed to do so. I really want to move out now so Nugget Box can chase him down, but we created a big gap from that. So now they have 1 second. Nugget Box is gonna have to push a little bit to get within the DRS of Neresteia, but it looks like he's just gonna be able to. And now 77% tire wear, which means we can get puncture at any point if we're unlucky, so we really have to box. So we're braking hard, but we get a 5-second penalty for speeding into the pits. not happy about that at all, as our race is pretty much over right now, unless we get a safety car and I can serve it under the pits. Coming out now, we are behind Metal Machine, and we have to remember I'm on very fresh tires right now. I think I am fighting right now with people who pitted 5 laps earlier, so I should naturally be quicker than them, but remember I had this weird feeling going into this race and I still haven't gotten out of that. I felt like I was super slow. So we're gonna see if we can gain any time on him, because preferably we want to get ahead of him and get out 5 seconds ahead of him. So, because I don't think we're gonna be able to fight with Blue Monkey and the people up ahead at any point in this race, unless Blue Monkey started on mediums to begin with, but I don't think so. I'm not sure exactly. Nonetheless, we're gonna try to get ahead of Metal Machine on this start-finish straight, and we're gonna use all of our ERS. We basically had 100% of it, so we're gonna push ahead. He's not gonna fight us, he's just gonna stick behind, and the best thing from his race is if he can just stick behind us and get the ERS on every section so he doesn't fall back. And as you're gonna see later on in this race, that's just what he did. I was basically carrying throughout the last laps here, because I was around 8, 9, 10s whenever we got into the start-finish DRS straight. But it was just enough for him to get within the DRS, so I couldn't really hang him off. But we're gonna skip to lap 31, he's still behind as you can see. We have Lil Tango 6.8 seconds up ahead. It's looking like it could be a P7 for me right now, as Edo, he is on fresh soft tires behind, or not really fresh right now, but still soft tires are faster. Metal Machine is gonna go for it the first time he passes me right now. So we wanna get ahead of him on the next DRS, because we can't let him sit ahead of us. Perfectly strategically from him to be ahead of me right now. But we need to fight for this position. You can see we are low on ERS, and I think he has more ERS than us right now. We are gonna just dive on the inside, and we are gonna try and hold it. He is fighting with us, but I think we get the better exit. I think that's a lot due to our tires being fresher than his. And we are ahead, but the more we are fighting, the more we're gonna lose time to behind. But we have Lil Tango ahead, and he is out on the grass. Must have had some sort of moment ahead. So we gained a position. Hopefully Lil Tango has some damage or overheated tires. So we're gonna get those 5 seconds on him immediately. And I have a window right now to push, because I think that set both me and Metal Machine off a little bit. Metal Machine 9/10ths back. We have to really push here so he doesn't get the ERS on us. He's 1 second. And I think we just managed to keep ahead. So I'm gonna use all of my ERS now, because I don't want him to get any DRS on us next time here. He is at 9.5 tenths behind. Are we gonna be able to get ahead? We are really forcing it. He's 1.1 seconds, so we are out of the DRS on him, or he is out on our DRS. You can see the delta is shrinking again, so he's using all of his ERS to get inside, but he'd never managed to. So it's a 2-second gap with 2 laps to go, 1.5 laps to go. But you can see on the fuel, I am out of fuel soon. So I'm gonna have to start fuel saving. So the way to do that, for people who don't know, if you get to this position, just lift before every corner. You can see I get a 3-second penalty, multiple warnings as well. So my race is pretty much done. We're gonna still follow through the last laps and see if anything's gonna happen, but yeah, this race was horrible from my point of view, as something wasn't right, and I'm gonna go into now what happened. I noticed this when I was editing the video, that I was using the wrong camera settings. I never went in and changed it, but for some reason I got this, I don't know what it's called, TV pod offset, whatever. So whenever I look back, as you can see, from time to time, it's gonna show in an offset angle, not straight back. And if you go into any other of my videos, you're gonna see I have a different camera setting, and somehow this changed between time trial and the race, and I think that explains why I just never had the pace of the time trial, because the settings was different and I wasn't figuring this out. And now you can see I'm not fuel saving enough, so I'm gonna have to lift coming into this corner and just try and get back some fuel, or not burn too much fuel. Makes more sense, I guess. But yeah, really frustrating race for us, but up ahead on that minimap, you can see there is a Mercedes leading the pack. So it looks like we're gonna have the new SRL champion, or the first SRL champion, gonna be named Neresteia, and what a season from him. Nuggetbox and him have been fighting in very different way. They've never been fighting really with each other, but in different ways. Neresteia, some races been incredible fast and winning with super easy. And Nuggetbox, he's just been getting all of the points he needed to be able to fight, and very consistently. Yeah, we are in P5, but we're eventually gonna be put into P7 with Dynamite just behind us. Nonetheless, big congratulations to Neresteia, amazing season from him, and also to Nuggetbox, who, yeah, both very good drivers, very different skill sets, but in the end, Neresteia, who I think he got the most wins in this league, and yeah, very talented driver. I'm not sure how much we'll see him next season. I think he's going to PSGL. So, nonetheless, race is over, season is over, P7 for us. We're gonna have a little season break right now, so I think 2-3 weeks of non-SRL, but I'm gonna be racing in the Swedish F1 League. So I hope I'll see you there. I think a new video will be made next Sunday. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day. Please like and subscribe if you like this video. Take care and goodbye.